Hi, this is an update to the previous videos that were made as to the status of the community in Dimona, Israel, known as the African Hebrew Israelite community. Okay, the last time I came to you, we were discussing cults. And there were some of you that felt as though, oh, well, you know, it's not a cult, and some of you say that it is. Well, today we're setting aside that particular topic. We're setting aside the dispute between the leadership. Something came to my attention today that I felt made it critical for me to make another video. I had not wanted to make another video. I felt as though things were calming down, so to speak. I was looking forward to making videos about other things, maybe even making some videos to make some money. You know, I was really in a positive state of mind and enjoying myself until this morning. I woke up in such a great mood, and the first thing that happened was my eyes scanned this headline about this 5-year-old little girl, beautiful little black girl. I don't remember the particular city in America, but it was thought to be that she was kidnapped. Later on, she was found safe, and I was very, very relieved. They had what you call an Amber Alert to alert everyone, everywhere, about the disappearance of this child. Okay, so at the time I saw it, I said a quick prayer and went on my way. Then afterwards, a little later in the day, I received a phone call. This phone call was informing me of a public announcement that had went out in the community in Dimona, and this announcement was directed to the sisterhood. Okay, now the sisterhood has received a proposal from the leadership, and basically what they're doing is they're proposing the establishment of concubines. Now, for those of you that don't know what a concubine is, it's basically a man that may be married already, that takes on another woman, and he takes on this other woman for friendship or to have another child with, or if his wife can't have children, that is, or for other sexual relations. So he has the right to have sex with this woman, do whatever he pleases with this woman, so to speak, but he has no legal, financial, no type of obligation towards her whatsoever. Okay, now as far as I'm concerned, I had to make a statement. And even though I have not been a part of the community for over 10 years, I'm looking at this like I would look at the Django movie that everybody's looking at. You have those that have escaped. You have those that have left. And you have those that are still on the plantation. Okay? Those that are on the plantation have been brainwashed, many of them. And many of them are happy on the plantation, serving masa. You know, just like Samuel Jackson, he'll give his life for masa, you know, and he'll turn you in and do whatever he finds necessary to keep the status quo. Then you have the other Negroes that escape the plantation, and some of them never look back, okay? And, you know, it reminds me of Sojourner Truth, because Sojourner Truth was one that went back on 300 different occasions to help those slaves escape. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a Sojourner Truth, but what I'm saying is there are two different kinds of people. They're the kinds of people that are slaves, and they don't have a problem being a slave. They are mindless, and they will always be a slave. Then you have another kind of person, and that individual is a free man. And whether he's chained at the time, his mind is free, his spirit is free, and if he does not attain his freedom, he will die trying to attain his freedom. So those are the two basic types of individuals. So it is imperative for us to look back at our brothers and sisters, and mainly, this is me, mainly those children and those elders and anyone that cannot defend themselves. These are the people that I am speaking on behalf of, and because these are the people that are more so being taken advantage of. In my opinion, is it a cult? Absolutely. It is a satanic cult. And please don't look at it as being anything less than that. Now, for those of you that have made your comments about what's happening over here in Israel, if you don't live here in Israel, you really don't have the right to make a comment. I have lived in Israel for over 30 years. I've been a part of that community, and I know what I'm talking about. So if you've not been a part of this, really, you can't speak on it. It's like trying to talk about what's going on in somebody else's house and you haven't been there. You may be able to speak in general terms about what should or should not be happening there, but to really speak in depth about what is going on there, you're not qualified to do that. So those of you that want to make comments, you can keep those to yourself, especially if it's something negative. Not interested. But for those of you that have children there, those of you that have relatives there, those of you that have friends there, and especially young children and young daughters, this is not a red flag. This is an amber alert, okay? It is just that serious. Why would a woman in this day and time, a woman in her right mind, choose to become a concubine? Is it not true that in the community that the brothers are already allowed to have up to 7 wives? What is the necessity for a concubine? Now, we already know that there's rampant pedophilia that's going on there. We already know that there's all kinds of molestation that's going on there. The boys and the girls are being molested, okay? We already know that there is rampant promiscuity going on in the village. Now, is this supposed to be a solution? In my opinion, this particular cult demoralizes in a satanic way the women and the children to an extent to where now it's really like the last nail in the coffin. You can't even look at it as anything positive. It's a graveyard, different little dry bones floating around, walking around, and some of those that have left and that are still here in Israel, and they have just given up their obligation to try to look back and help those that are still there. Now, for the adults that are still there, for those that are so brainwashed, those slaves that want to be slaves and they don't want to leave Moses plantation even though the Civil War is over, you're a free man and you're free to go. No, let them stay there. But for those babies, for those girls, they deserve better, okay? They deserve a chance at life. And these are the ones that I'm concerned about, okay? What kind of message are we sending our daughters when we, as adult women, agree to become a concubine? Really a fancy word for a whore. Now, they have very little positive role models for sisters in the community. How many of our children, male and female, have went on to higher education? How many of our children, how many of the women are actual leaders in the community? And what rights do they have, okay? They want to devalue you in such a way, it's really satanic. And what do I mean exactly by satanic? There are a lot of rituals, and you see them throughout society, not in just small cults. And when you talk about a cult, they're big cults and they're little cults, okay? I'm not discriminating. It's just that when I look back at where I came from, my heart goes out to those children. Why? Because I know people there, and I feel that there's a moral obligation for me to say something. But the satanic cults and these rituals that are taking place now are in the Catholic Church. They are everywhere. And what they do is they are taking our children, the most pure and the most innocent thing that is worthy for sacrifice, and they are sacrificing them for their own satanic purposes. Okay? It's bad enough that they support the degradation and the thievery and the lies and the stealing and all of the other degradation in the community. It's bad enough that they turn blind eye to that. But this is the nail in the coffin. They have the audacity to come to the sisters and to propose to them that they become a whore. No other word for it but a whore. I say to you, anyone that's still left in that community, if you agree to this, you are only undermining yourself. You're sending the wrong messages to your daughters. They deserve a chance at life. If you're older and you're foolish and you agree to this, okay, that's your life. But for any girl there, I will say it. If your mother is agreeing to this, or you're looking around and you are looking at this as a way to live your life, don't do it. You can be a doctor. You can be an astronaut. You can be whatever you want to be. Don't buy into the hype that these demonic people are putting on you. Don't look at what's going around and feel as though you have to accept that. If somebody is trying to molest you, touch you, beat you, or do anything, degrade you in any way, you need to go and report it. And I want to remind the people in that community that if you see these things going on and you don't say anything about it, you are not only part of the problem, but you can be directly prosecuted legally for not saying something about it. It's time up for all of this foolishness, people. The world needs to know. No longer should we put our dirty laundry under the bed. Why? Because there are too many innocent people that are being taken advantage of. That is my opinion. You can take it or leave it. But this is going out directly to those in that community. The kingdom of God is, as far as I'm concerned, has been updated. And just like any kind of software, you can now call it the kingdom of hell. Selah.